What's up, guys? Brian here, representing the Overlay Network. School is wrapping up, so I thought I'd share with you guys my best actor pendulum deck. It's a go in second build. I try to keep a budget in mind for people who are on a budget, but I'll go over some cards you can add in if you want to make it more tryhard. And that's right about it. The archetype's playing style relies on taking advantage of pendulum summoning, while the Abyss Crypt spells, the in-archetype spells, take advantage of the number of Abyss actor monsters on the field. So let's get on to it. We're going to start off with Mr. Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser. If there's a glare, I do apologize. I am outside, and if you guys hear some traffic, I do apologize. I'm outside, so it's just better, so I can be as loud as I need to be in the backyard. So starting with Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser, he has a 1-card full scales. Thanks to his once per duel effect that allows you to special summon him from your pendulum scale if you control no monsters. His monster effect lets him gain 1,100 attack if he's the only monster you control, and he also lets you send one Abyss Crypt spell from your deck to the graveyard to add one other face-up Abyss Actor monster from your extra deck to hand. So the utility he offers is pretty insane, and the fact that he is level 4 makes him that much better. This is why I decided to highlight him first, because he's just pretty good. Level 4, scale 7. I mean, sucks that it's once per duel, but he is a really good extender, and gotta like for that 1-card full scales. And then next up, we are going to go with Miss Abyss Actor Mellow Madonna. She's our low scale since she is scale 0. She has a very strong scale effect, which it lets you pay 1,000 life points to add one other Abyss Actor pendulum monster from your deck to your hand except herself. But once you use this effect, you are locked into only special summoning Abyss Actor pendulum monsters. So you can't go into your Hyper Director Link 1, just keep that in mind. Her monster effect's pretty good though. She gains 100 attack points for each Abyss Crypt spell in your graveyard, and when a pendulum summon monster you control destroy a battle, you can special summon her from hand, so that's pretty good. And if an Abyss, and the last one I like the most, and if an Abyss Crypt spell is used, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Abyss Actor monster from your deck, but get this, return it to your hand at the end of the turn. So I really do like that. I like seeing this deck more as a toolbox deck. They are locked into the archetype a lot of times, but when they aren't, you can go for some pretty strong Xyz monsters, as I'll go over, and some generic links for the most part. And then next, we got Abyss Actor Wild Hope. Wild Hope is a level 4 who is a scale 2, and his effect lets you target one other Abyss Actor card in your pendulum zone, make it scale 9. But once again, this is a recurring theme with them. You're locked into only special summoning Abyss Actor monsters for the rest of the turn. His monster effect lets you make him, once per turn, gain 100 attack points for each Abyss Actor monster you control with a different name, and if he is destroyed by battle or card effect, he lets you add one Abyss Actor card from deck to hand. I wish it was Abyss card in general, but it is what it is. He's pretty good. He's strong. He's a 3 of my opinion, along with probably Sassy Rookie. You can bump him with a 3. It's really up to you. Next, we got Abyss Actor Superstar. Pretty much, I want to say the boss monster of the deck. Level 7, scale 3, pendulum scale. And then once per turn, this is a scale effect. Once per turn, you contribute one Abyss Actor monster, then target one Abyss Actor spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So you can recur some resources if you get into the grind game, but really in reality that's not happening right now. Maybe in mid-range format, but we'll see. And then when his monster effect is when he's normal or special summon, your opponent's spell and trap cards cannot be activated. And then once per turn, you can set one Abyss Crypt spell from your deck, but send it to the graveyard during the end phase. So there's that. So he just lets you deck trim 2 at the same time. So he offers some utility, and since he's like the one that you can get out the most easily without having to get the scale 9, as I'll get into later, he is the one you want to run at 3 just because he is big and you can get him out pretty easily. Then next we got Abyss Actor Comic Relief, scale 8, level 4. Monster whose scale effect lets you target one Abyss Actor monster you control and one monster your opponent controls, switch them. So pretty much creature swap, and once you do that, you have to destroy this card. So pretty much an in-archetype creature swap, which is useful. His first monster effect is that you take no battle damage from attacks involving this card, so there is that. The second effect is that once per turn during your standby phase, give control of this card to your opponent, and if this card switches control, activate this card effect. Destroy one set Abyss Crypt spell or trap. And this is beneficial because a lot of these spells generate some form of advantage or utility, as I'll get into a little bit later. Alright, next up we have Sassy Rookie, scale 2 level 4, whose scale effect protects your Abyss Actor monster that would be destroyed by battle or card effect by destroying him instead. So that's a pretty good scale effect in my opinion. Good utility. The fact that he is scale 2 level 4, it makes him a 2 of. Since we are running more of like an OTK variant, he is at 2 instead of 3 because he is more for like a grind game. And then if you're trying to make this for a more casual theme, then obviously bump him with the 3. But for this profile, he's at 2 just because you want to have some other things that help you reduce your opponent's monster's attack for you to be able to OTK. And then, yeah, that's his scale effect. And then his first monster effect states that if he would be destroyed by battle or card effect, he isn't. But suppose he is destroyed by either one of those. In that case, he lets you special summon 1 level 4 or lower Abyss Actor monster besides him. And his last effect is that if a card effect destroys him while in your pendulum zone, you can destroy 1 level 4 or lower monster your opponent controls. So pretty nice utility, and I do like him at 2 for this variant of the deck right now. And then we have another 2 of in the variant of the deck right now is Abyss Actor Extras, scale 3 level 1. His scale effect is that if your opponent controls a special summon monster and he's in your scale, you can special summon him. So he's kind of like your other understudy, sorry, not understudy. Yeah, he's kind of like your other, excuse me, current Razor. Understudy is, like I said, if for a more like casual theme deck, I'd probably throw it in there. And then his monster effect is he lets you tribute him to place 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your deck into your extra deck face up. So anything you will need, you can distribute him and boom, put whatever you want in the extra deck and then pendulum summon back. And that's it for all the 3 ofs and 2 ofs. Next we're going to get into the 1 ofs. We're going to go highlight the latest one. We have Abyss Actor Twinkle Little Star, one of the cards from Rise of the Duelist, and a scale 9 level 4 that lets you target 1 Abyss Actor monster you control, and it can make up to 3 attacks on your opponent's monsters, but you're locked into Abyss Actor monsters and only that monster you chosen can attack. So that is a scale effect, quite a lot to read, quite a mouthful, but he is scale 9, so very useful. Therefore you can pretty much pendulum summon anything you need thanks to Mellow Madonna because she is scale 0, and Twinkle Little Star because he is scale 9. I don't run him at 3 personally because he just gets bricky and he's not that great, so he's just a 1 of, and you can search him out. So I do like him at 1, and that was a scale effect. Now his monster effect is, if a monster effect, its monster effect is that it cannot be destroyed by battle, and it can make an attack up to 3 times on monsters. So you can do some pretty cool, interesting plays if you run a different variant of the deck. I suggest you guys read into it, but for the most part we use him just to get our evil heal or our superstar nice and big so he can attack all our opponent's monsters if he has a big board. So yeah, next we run 1 Abyss Actor Funky Comedian. Funky Comedian is kind of more just for the utility aspect of it because he's a scale 8 level 1, and then once per turn you contribute 1. His scale effect is once per turn you contribute 1 Abyss Actor monster, then target 1 Abyss Actor monster you control. It gains attack equal to the original attack of the attributed monster until the end of this turn, even if it leaves the field. So gets whatever you need to be nice and big. And then when he's normal or special summon, you can make this card gain 300 attack for each Abyss Actor monster you currently control until the end of the turn. Then you can target 1 other Abyss Actor monster you control, and it can gain attack equal to the current attack of this guy. And then he can't attack the turn you activate it, but that's fine. He's pretty low in attack anyways. You just want to get him nice and big so you can make some other Abyss Actor monster really big in attack so you can go for the OTK. And then we have next up Misleading Lady, level 4, scale 2. Really interesting effects. So let's get into the scale effect. Once per turn, when you take battle damage from an opponent's attacking monster, you can activate one of these effects. So that opponent's monster loses attack equal to the damage you took, even if she leaves the field, and then add one face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand with attack less than or equal to the damage you took. So pretty much help, just utility toolbox type of thing she lets you do. That's her scale effects. Choose either or, whatever you need, whatever the situation requires. Next you have the monster effect, which is once per turn when battle damage is inflicted, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses attack equal to damage equal to that battle damage, so it just loses it, so just permanently, which is nice. And when this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can set 1 Abyss Script spell directly from your deck onto the field. So the utility aspect is even more insane. So I like her. Level 4s, can't get enough of them. Alrighty guys, lastly for the Abyss Actor monsters, we have Abyss Actor Evil Heal. His scale effect is once per turn you contribute 1 Abyss Actor monster, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses attack equal to that original attack of the attributed monster, even if it leaves the field. So pretty nice. It sucks that it's targeting, but hey, we're trying to OTK and we're battle phase centric. And then if this card is normal special summon, you can target one face up monster your opponent controls. It loses 1,000 attack for each Abyss Actor monster you control until the end of the turn. So therefore pushing that, you know, battle damage to pretty much lethal, helping you that. And when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can target one Abyss Crypt spell in your graveyard, set that card. So they're like, it's just, you know, you guys can grind if need be, but not right now because the format's pretty fast. So next up, to help you clear boards and help you just, you know, push the OTK theme, we run 5 Kaijus, we run 2 Jizukiru, because you want the bigger one for yourself, but you can give it to your opponent if you have to, if the situation requires it. Next, we run 3 Gamma Seal, the best one out of all the Kaijus, the one you want to give to your opponent. And then following those bad boys, we run 3 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. You don't run Dark Ruler no more. Sorry about that. You don't run Dark Ruler no more because your opponent doesn't take any battle damage, and you want to pretty much just finish it off. So that's what made me not want to run it. I just like this more because it lets you, you know, go for the OTK, and it's not that bad. Plus, I like seeing Kaijus, and they do come through in some certain situations, I'm not gonna lie. So I say go with the Kaiju package, at least for this thing. It helps because Dark Ruler no more doesn't do battle damage, but you could do Smear Mode too if you want to do Smear Mode, or Lava Golem if you don't need your normal summon, whatever you prefer, whatever's more budget. But I like the Kaijus a lot because they're pretty good, and they can get rid of some problems pretty easily. And then we're gonna get into a Morphage Goliath, which is really strong pendulum card, and its pendulum scale effect is not relevant. Its scale sucks, so you don't want to get your Abyss Actor Director Veilered when you have this guy out, because if you do, he just sucks. His scale's not gonna let you pendulum summon anything. So yeah, make sure you only run him at 1. He gets bricky at 3, but if you're forced to go first, you probably do want to bump him up to 3. At that point, I suggest Waking the Dragons. But he is here because of his monster effect. I've rambled on long enough. His monster effect is neither player can special summon monsters from the extra deck except the Morphage monsters. So I will highlight his monster effect once we get into Hyper Directors. But he is here because he likes to lock your opponent out from the extra deck. And since you don't really need your extra deck, you're mostly pendulum summoning from the hand, because you are locked into the archetype of Abyss Actor monster when you're doing this, you don't really worry about that too much. Now for the spells, generic spells, we run 3 Allure Darkness because we are mostly dark, and I try to keep a budget in mind. It's good, it's powerful, it gets the job done for what it is. And then we run 2 Hate True Nade. I say Hate True Nade is pretty good and underrated. It got a reprint in the gold set, so I suggest people go get it. And then for the 1-0s, we run 1 Regeki, 1 Double or Nothing, and 1 Feather Duster. That's it for the 1-0s, guys. Now let's get to that's it for the generic spells and the 1-0s. Let's get into the Abyss Crypt spells. I'm gonna start off with 2 Abyss Crypt Rise of the Abyss King. This lets you target face-up cards on the field up to the number of attack position Abyss Actor monsters you control with different names and destroy them. And if you control a level 7 or higher Abyss Actor monster, your opponent can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. So it's a spell speed for an archetype card, so it's pretty powerful and potent. It sucks that it's targeting, but it's pretty good because let's just target face-up cards in the field, which is nice. So we run 2 of it, and since we can recur with a lot of our monsters, it's just abusable. And then its other effect is if an opponent's card effect destroys this set card in its owner control, and you have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can add 2 Abyss Actor cards and or Abyss Crypt spells with different names from your deck or hand. So very powerful card. You could run it at 3, but I run it at 2 because 3 can get cloggy, and then 2 is just right because you can always search it out. There's a lot of ways to search it out. Next we run 1 Abyss Crypt Opening Ceremony. Lets you gain 500 life points for each Abyss Actor monster you control, and if an opponent's card effect destroys the set card in its owner control and you have face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck, you can draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. You can only use this effect of Abyss Crypt Opening Ceremony once per turn. So not bad, lets you have 5 cards in hand, pretty broken. There are some requirements to it, but worth running, and lets you get life points, stay in the game if need be. One of those guys. Next we run 1 Abyss Crypt Fire Dragon's Lair. This card's insane. Lets you target 1 Abyss Actor monster you control, and if it destroys your opponent's monster by battle this turn, your opponent banishes 3 monsters from their extra deck, their choice. That kind of sucks, but lets you, they have to banish 3. And if this is a theme with all the scripts, by the way, if they're set and destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can do something crazy. This one's crazy effect is, if it's destroyed by your opponent's card effect and it's set, and you have face-up again, and you have a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck, that's like the requirements. Sucks, but not hard to meet them. You can look at the top card of your opponent's extra deck, also banish 1 monster from the extra deck. Insane. You can only use this effect Abyss Crypt Fire Dragon's Lair once per turn. So they got to be running pretty much Cyclone just to not trigger those things. So there's that. And then lastly, for the script spells, we run 1 Abyss Crypt Abyss-tainment, excuse me. You contribute 1 Abyss Crypt, you contribute 1 Abyss Actor monster, excuse me, then target 1 Abyss Crypt spell in your graveyard, set it to your field. I mean, all these are just free. Even more ways to get them back, so it's good. Really good. Doesn't stop there. You can use this effect of Abyss Crypt Abyss-tainment up to twice per turn, so I mean, why wouldn't you run? You can even run this at 2, but honestly at 1 is pretty good. I have my playsets of all these cards because I just love this archetype. It's so much fun. And then if this set card is destroyed by its opponent's card effect, blah blah blah, you can special summon any number of Abyss Actor Pendulum monsters from your deck. So you have to meet the requirements of it being set face down and having Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck face up. So all worth running, all very powerful, and all can do some pretty good stuff going second. Going first, you want to run stuff like Dimensional Barrier. What else? Probably some of the Mythical Beast stuff to get you some spell counters, see what you can do. Some Upstart Goblin, some more generic draw power, Pot of Extravagance, and something you could throw in here too. But I try to keep a budget in mind, and this can still do some good stuff, especially at online. It's the Wild West, so you can definitely steal some games with this. And then at local level 2, you might go like 500, you know, 50-50, you know, 6 and 4, I don't know, whatever you want to say. You'll get some wins, but it's a fun archetype. Now let's get into the extra deck. So we run 3 Hyper Director. His link requirement is 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster, and then his link effect is you can target 1 card in your Pendulum zone, special summon it, then place 1 Abyss Actor Pendulum monster with a different name from your deck or face-up extra deck to your Pendulum zone. Also, you cannot normal or special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Abyss Actor monster, which is fine because you're just gonna, you know, be locked into that regardless most of the time. But the interesting thing about it is that you're gonna put Goliath in scale, then you're gonna link summon Hyper Director with a normal summon to target Goliath, to therefore summon him from the scale, and then locking your opponent out of the extra deck. That's the reason you run him, and that's the reason he's very, very important for this type of variant. Like I said, going second. If you're going first, you're probably gonna bump him up. But very powerful card that lets you do it to any any pendulum scale, and just special summon it. So it's pretty free, pretty broken, and the fact that you're locked into Abyss Actor monster doesn't really hurt you, and then we're the only ones that can really use it, so that's nice. So finally glad we got this. It lets us abuse pendulum summons a little bit differently now, and a little more. So I'm happy to see him. So we run 3 of him, and great utility in this deck and help you stay in the grind game. Next, we're gonna go into the generic ones, more generic links. 1 Gravity Controller because you can use them. It's cheap. one wee witch because we're all dark and it helps us up right here. Plus good link arrows. They all have pretty much have good link arrows for us. And then lets you recur a resource from deck to hand, from graveyard to hand too. So I like wee witch. And then one beat cop because you can actually use her full effect because we're mostly dark to protect one monster on the field with one of the beat counters. And then requirements are easier, just 2 monsters. So and then good arrows. So we run 1 beat cop. Then for the Xyz we run Abyss Dweller, Tornado Dragon, and then Exoton Knight, along with Dugaris. Just very powerhouse, generic rank 4 Xyz that you want, and are pretty budget if you can't afford access code, which is what it is, you know. Try to keep a budget in mind. Speaking of access code budgets, we run the Utopia Double package. We can run Utopia along with Utopia Double, and then since Lightning's been getting reprints and getting cheaper and cheaper, which is great, we run Lightning because, like I said, if you don't have access code, this is like your best friend along with Boral Sword. And it's pretty good. All you gotta do is just play the brick and the double or nothing, but I think we run that 44 card deck, so chances of you seeing it are slim. So yeah, when you're not locked into the archetypes of Abyss Actors, you can bring out all these generic rank 4s and links, which is very, very good. And then to finish it up, we run the Odd Eyes package, 1 Absolute and 1 Vortex for just generic Xyz, and then really good Fusion. And that does it for the deck profile, guys. Abyss Actors. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. I like it. It's fun. There's a lot of different ways to make it. If you want to go for a more casual theme, you can make more space for some of the in-archetype cards. Like I said, if you want to go for Dark Ruler, go for Dark Ruler. If you want to go for the Lava Golem, go for the Lava Golem. If you want to go for, what else? Sphere Mode, go for Sphere Mode. There's different ways to make this deck, but it's still fun no matter how you make it. That's the thing that I like. And then it's a really good, cheap, high rarity pendulum deck that helps you learn the pendulum summon mechanic pretty well and then learn the nuances of it. But I rambled on long enough, guys. Brian with Neo Overlay Network signing out.